Please don't make this mistake. If you have been told that trendline strategy had the holy grail, but how many times have you entered a perfect trendline breakout on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute chart only to see it reverse seconds later? You are not bad at trading, you are just looking at the wrong map. Today I'm showing you the exact time frame hierarchy I use to ignore the noise and cash sniper entries. If that sounds good, you can smash the like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button so that YouTube can notify you when I upload another exclusive trading information like this. Let's dive into the charts. I've seen a lot of beginner traders making this expensive mistake all the time in the market. Whenever they want to use trendline breakouts, they establish their trend line on the lower time frame. It's very dangerous to use time frame like 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, 2-minute time frame, 1-minute time frame for your trend line breakout strategy. This is a no-go area. Stop using these time frames. They are wrong. So if you want to have a profitable trading result, right, while using this trend line breakout strategy, use the following time frame. You can use weekly, you can use daily, then 4 hours time frames. The trend lines that you draw on the lower time frame like 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute are not as strong as the trend line on the weekly, daily, 4 hours time frame. Looking at the 15-minute time frame chart, trying to apply the trend line strategy, and the rule says a solid and a valid trend line must have 2 touches. We have first and the second touch around this zone. 2 touches already. Waiting for price to mitigate the trend line. The third touch, can you see how the price invalidated the trend line to the downside? So imagine trying to place a buy opportunity at the third touch zone. You would have lost a lot of money. This is why markets will always use you as liquidity in the market. Stop using trendline strategy, trendline breakout on 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame. Let me show you another example. If you look at this amazing chart right now, you can see the overall direction of the market is bullish. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price give us equal low, then probably equal high. So let's say you are trying to use your trend line zone here by connecting these 2 points to another, right? Because the overall trend is what? Bullish. And we have 2 touches around this zone. First touch, second touch. Now waiting for price to come and mitigate the price, on the third touch, trend line third touch, then you execute your trade around this zone by waiting for entry confirmation. What would have happened? Would have lost this trade. So trend line trading strategy on the lower time frame is not advisable. So that reminds me, if you have any trading challenges you want me to solve for you by making a video tutorial on it, you can drop it in the comment section and I'm going to look into it and create a video to solve the problem for you in the future. Let me show you another beautiful example. If you look at the overall direction of this price here, it was a bearish market, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Beginning of this down trend line started as a result of the invalidation of this higher low here to the downside. We had our break of structure or change of structure around this zone. Let's say you want to use a trend line trading strategy by connecting these 2 points together here. Can you see? Now we have first touch, second touch, third touch around this. So let's say you are trying to execute around this zone, right, by waiting for entry confirmation, right, and then you enter here. What will have happened? You will have lost this trade. So I will never advise you to use trendline trading strategy on the lower time frame like 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, or 1 minute chart. If you want to use trendline trading strategy and become a profitable trader, I will advise you to go for weekly time frame, daily time frame, and the 4 hours time frame. This time frame are much more stronger than the trend lines you use on the lower time frame. Let me show you how to use this trend line breakout strategy on the 4 hours time frame. The first blueprint step you must observe, or the first problem you must solve in the market, is to establish the trend, right? trend or the direction of the market, once you are able to establish where the price action is heading to, either to the south, to the north, it will enable you to predict the price action, and it will help you to execute a quality setups in the market. Looking at the overall direction of the price action on gold right now on the 4 hours time frame, you agree with me that buyers are the one dominating the market. And if you look at the structural movement, price created a low here to give us high, swing higher low, swing higher high, swing higher low, swing higher high, swing higher low, then swing higher high. This is a strong bullish market. And if you want to use your uptrend trend line, you can see this is a clear and a valid uptrending market. How do we use our trend line breakout strategy in a market condition like this? First thing is to establish two solid points, right, where the trend line can have two touches. I'm going to use this place, then connect it to the next point here. We have another point here, we have first point here, then we have the second point here. This is a solid two touches. Now you can call this line a trend line because it has two touches, and the rules of trend line is to wait for price to mitigate this trend line the third time before you execute on this trade. Since I'm using 4 hours time frame as my directional or structural time frame, then 30-minute time frame will be my entry. So I'm going to apply this trend line breakout on the 30-minute time frame, as my entry time frame. So let's get down to the lower time frame and see what the price action will offer us on this beautiful trade by waiting for price to mitigate this trend line the third time. Then we'll scale down to 30-minute time frame and apply this trend line breakout strategy. This is 30-minute time frame, and you can see the structure on the 30-minute time frame is bullish, right? Higher high, higher low, 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 higher high. You can see a couple of higher lows in the market, but we need the price to give us a bearish structure to mitigate this trend line the third time, so that we can apply our trend line breakout on the 30-minute time frame. Let's play the candlestick and see what the price will offer us on this trade. And you can see the price is heading to our trend line the third time. The rules is no entry, no signal. We must wait for price to mitigate this trend line the third time. That is the rule of trend line trading strategy. Let's continue to play the candlesticks. Now price is here to mitigate the trend line the third time. Now it's time for us to establish our trend line breakout system. So I'm going to connect another trend line from this place to this place to establish my trend line breakout. And the rule of this trend line breakout system is to guide me from taking unnecessary or a random trade. I only want to execute when the price break this trend line to the upper side. As soon as the price is still trading below this trend line, right, I'm not executing. I will exercise a lot of patience, either a few minutes, few hours, or few days, until I see this breakout to the upper side. That is when I will execute this setup. Let's continue to play the candlestick. So price is yet to break it out. Now we have the first candlestick to break this trend line to the upper side, but we can't enter. Why? Because the price is here to mitigate the trend line the third time. Until the price mitigate this trend line the third time, that is when we are going to make use of this trend line breakout here. So let's continue playing the candlestick. Now finally price mitigates this trend line the third time. Now we have to adjust our trend line breakouts, right, by connecting it from this week to this week, simple as ABC. Don't forget the rule. You must wait for price to mitigate the trend line the third time before you use this trend line breakout. Let's play the candlesticks and wait for price to break out of this counter trendline breakout. We have the first bullish candlestick here to break this trend line to the upper side, and this bullish candlestick will be our entry confirmation. Then we execute here, we place our stop loss below here, then we target a minimum of ratio 1 to 2 risk to reward. Can you see it? We have risk/reward ratio 2.02. So I don't target more than 2 risk to reward in the market. So let's continue to play the candlesticks and see what the price will offer us. Now the price is heading towards our take profits level without stress. Price is moving. Price reverse back to the stop loss zone. Don't panic, just follow the rules. If you have confidence in your strategy and you apply proper risk management, you won't be bothered by the ups and downs in the market. So just follow your system. Price can't just move in one direction. Price will move up, down, up, down, up, down. So you must get used to that price action movement. After retracing to our stop loss zone, now price is back to our take profit zone. So let's wait for price to mitigate our take profit level. So this is my take profit level, which is ratio 1 to 2. So let's continue to play the candlestick. So let's see what the price will offer us on this trade. Finally, the price smashed this take profit level. If you have 1 or 2 questions you want me to solve for you, you can drop it in the comment section and I will create a video for it in the future content. Let me show you the bearish example of this trendline breakout strategy. If you look at the 4 hours time frame of Euro USD, you will agree with me that the overall trend is downtrend. Sellers are the one in charge of the market, by observing the structural movement. Price created low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So the next point is for me to establish a valid and a strong trend line by connecting 2 points together. So I can start from this point to the next point. The most important thing is to connect 2 points together. There are different ways for you to establish your trend lines. Either you use week to week or you use the body of the candlestick to the next body of the candlestick, but I love to use week to week most of the time. And the rules of trend line says wait for price to mitigate this trend line the 3rd time before you execute. So let's play the candlesticks and see what the price will offer us on this trade. We have to exercise a lot of patience. No entry, no signal until the price mitigates this trend line the 3rd time. That is when we're going to execute. Now we have the trend line touch around this zone. So it's time for us to scale to the lower time frame, which is 30-minute time frame, and apply this trend line breakout system on the 30-minute time frame where we have the touch already. So the next one is to apply this our trend line breakout. So you have to connect trend line, right? By connecting it from this point here to this point here. The most important thing, the trend line must have a minimum of 2 touches. Now here we have the second touch around here, and the rule says use the first bearish candlestick that invalidate the trend line to the downside as your entry. And here we have the first bearish candlestick here, this healthy bearish candlestick that invalidated this trend line breakout to the downside. This bearish candlestick is going to be our entry confirmation, right? And this is the closing price level of this bearish candlestick. So we're going to use that as our entry confirmation. Sorry, I'm supposed to use short position 2. So and my stop loss is going to be above here. Then I'm going to target a minimum of ratio 1 to 2. I don't target more than ratio 1 to 2 risk to reward, and here we have it, risk to reward ratio 2. So let's play the candlesticks and exercise a lot of patience and see what the price will offer us on this trade. Now the price is moving towards our take profit level. Here is my take profit level. So if you believe in your trading strategy and you apply proper risk management, nothing to scare about, just execute without hesitation, right? So let's exercise a lot of patience. Now price is still moving, going back to our entry level, but we have to exercise a lot of patience. While price is approaching our take profit level, price also created another pattern here, which is a flag pattern. Whenever you see a bullish flag pattern like this, right, is a sign that price want to continue to the downside. This is a bearish continuation pattern, this bullish flag pattern. So let's continue and play the candlesticks. Now the price is about to mitigate our TP level. Let's see, finally the price action smash our take profit level. All right, that's the end of today's session. If you are blessed in one way or the other through the information I shared in this video, I would truly appreciate your support by liking this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification button. It helps the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to more struggling traders out there looking for possible ways to become profitable trader. And also, if you are interested to be part of my trading community on Telegram, where I give out profitable signals every week, you can click on the link in the description, and I will see you next time.